Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics with your Rush Hour Report. I want to discuss the accident that the Yonkers boy's son was in a few days ago. I mentioned it yesterday in a live. I want to talk about it in more detail. And also, a Yonkers auditor gets his phone stolen. Let's talk about that. An auditor by the name of Eli, the people's guy, was up on Park Hill. He was filming some guys doing work there, and he had his phone taken away. He had police come. He wanted to press charges for theft, but nothing happened. Who was wrong? Who was wrong? What's going on with these crazy auditors, these online influencers? Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I want to first start off with the accident that the son of the Yonkers voice, the man by the name of Rui Ben Rose, who has been doing the Yonkers voice for a very long time here in the city of Yonkers. I'm sure everybody knows who he is. His son, 37-year-old son, was involved in a car accident yesterday. I misreported saying that it was his son who was a police officer. That's not true. He does have a son who's also a police officer, but that is a different son. So I want to correct that. I also want to correct that and say that he's actually home, I believe. I think he left the hospital, but he was listed as being in critical condition when he arrived at the hospital. So what happened was a very freakish accident he was involved in on the Deegan. There was a disabled vehicle, I believe, in the left lane. And as the person in the disabled vehicle got out to check his car, another vehicle, a Subaru driven by a 61-year-old man, hit that disabled vehicle, which in turn hit the man who was standing, I guess, in front of it, next to it. That sent the man into the oncoming traffic where the son of Ruros, 37-year-old son, was driving his Jeep Wrangler and hit the guy, causing him to lose control and then, I guess, be ejected out of his Jeep Wrangler. I would imagine maybe because of the soft tops that some of them have. And then he was rushed to the hospital where he was listed as in critical condition. The individual that got out of his car was killed. And, you know, it's unfortunate. And that's very dangerous. You know, don't ever get out your car. Well, actually, if you can, no, I don't know if you should get out. I would get out of that lane myself. If you can't move the car, I would get myself out, because even in the car, another vehicle can hit you, causing you to be injured. That's a very dangerous, situation to be in. So I wanted to just, report that because it's news. The man known as the Yonkers voice primarily goes out there and posts car accidents. And I've been talking about this on here in Basement Politics, the amount of car accidents that we have been seeing here in the city of Yonkers, especially really bad car accidents, right? You see cars being flipped over and, overturned. People have actually been dying in these car accidents. And I think it's just because of the amount of people that we're now having here in the city. And we're getting a lot of these New York City drivers and New York City cabs coming in here as we get more people who are from the city, have connections to the city, right? And Yonkers voice, he's there to pretty much capture all of the accidents that we see. You can almost, count how many accidents we have in Yonkers just by going on his YouTube page and counting the videos. And he oftentimes he'll show the victims, and publicly on a live in the most vulnerable state when they're injured. Even when people been shot very recently, I've seen videos where he's shows the individuals, and so and people, also obviously know that he and I had some issues because of things that he has done, and and I've responded, and so I wanted to talk about this a little bit because somebody has made a comment. So I just want to clear myself because I clear things up, I should say, because I don't want to listen. I will definitely be, vicious with people who are vicious. I mean, that's just how I am. I grew up, in an environment where you had to kind of, do that. But I'm not someone that wishes, things like this to happen to people. I don't wish bad on people. At all. I don't wish death on people. I don't put that out there because I believe in karma. I believe in karma. A lot of people believe in karma, right? And I mentioned that yesterday. So someone took that in a way that I was, I was saying that that's what he gets or something like that, almost like, maybe, being happy in a way. And I'm not happy. I'm not, I'm never going to be happy when someone gets hurt, especially someone that didn't do anything to me because his son personally didn't do anything to me, right? But what I did say was karma in that I believe in it. And, while his son's maybe a good person, when karma, comes back, it comes back on the people like that you love, right? The people that are good, maybe, right? And so that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't, me personally, go out to attack people unless I'm attacked, right? I am attacked. And some people may, not understand that and may think that I just go out and I attack people and I'm just this, I'm the devil, as this one woman said to me yesterday or at the Tasha Diaz food drive. No, you have to understand where this originated from. All right. And it originated, with the Yonkers voice. How do I get to meet this guy and speak to him really for the first time? When he came up to me while I was at work, technically, I was working. I was handling one of my clients' properties that had just caught fire. He was there covering the fire. He comes up to me and says that first he told me that someone told him I was paying them to say things about him. I'm like, I don't even really know you. And why would I pay somebody? Obviously, I say things myself, right? And I said, that's crazy. And then he says, elected officials wanted me to write negative articles about you to hurt your business. This is what he said. And I got it recorded because while I didn't record it that day he said it to me, we agreed to meet at Paxos to have coffee. And that's exactly what we did. And at that point in time, I wanted to get this recording because as a business owner, if you're going to attack my business and it is going to cause harm to my business, and then I have to sue for that, I need to have evidence, right? I need to show that, hey, this guy told me individuals wanted to intentionally hurt my business. So while I didn't record it with my primary phone, I did record with my secondary phone. And so I have this on audio recording. And this is how I got to know the man known as the Yonkers voice. When he told me that elected officials wanted to hurt my business by having him write negative articles. And that's what he has done since, along with Brian Harrod. So yeah, I could see why people would say, oh, you may be, you wishing this, or I don't wish I don't wish death on that man. I don't wish death on his kids, but I do believe in karma. And many people have complained about having their loved ones broadcast in an accident or while being shot or while being overdosed live on his page that reaches, according to what he's told me once, 500,000 people, which I don't think that's true, but that's what he said, right? We don't even have 500,000 people in Yonkers, but, so that's not okay to me, especially when it's an overdose. So anytime it got shot, the guy at the Shell gas station, the homeless man that they found dead at ShopRite, people don't want that. Or when he reported that a woman had passed away of an overdose and her family was upset about that. So he had to do this whole video, right, with the family members to kind of do the retraction. But you already do the damage. You do the damage. And that's what he's done to me. And so what I have done is use my platform to fight back. But I'm vicious. I go hard. And I show evidence. I showed the news articles showing that the man was charged with sexually abusing a little girl. He pled down, but he was facing 7 to 14 years. And so, again, I believe in karma. I do. And so that's going to come back to you. Right. And it's not going to come back to you directly. It'll come back to your loved ones. And they may be the ones being affected by your bad karma, even though they're good people. So that's what I just want to say to that person. That's what I'm saying. Because he's not the only son that's having an issue, right? His other son, the police officer, had an issue where he was arrested. He was put on desk duty for an incident up in White Plains that he got himself involved in. So if these bad things are happening to your good sons, then maybe you have to watch what you're doing, dude. Because you know that you came to me or after me for absolutely no reason. And you know that you said that elected officials wanted to hurt my business by having you write negative articles. And this was before I ever knew you were a pedophile. This was before I ever knew who the hell you were. Just like the guy Brian, who I have no idea who he is until the day I went to go see him when he posted my daughter's face all over his stupid page. And so if you got kids and I did that to you and your kids, what are you going to do? To the people who support this guy or come on my page to support him, if I did this to your kids, what he's done to my family, what would you do? You wouldn't say nothing. You would just be okay. What would you do? Right? So before you say anything, know what's actually going on, or even better yet, don't say anything, right? That's the best thing, right? So again, I didn't wish this on this man. I've never wished death on him, right? He wouldn't care if I lived or died. He would watch me die. He said this. He said he wouldn't piss on me to if I was on fire, right? To save my life, right? Which I'm glad. I'd rather die than have him piss on me. So we both agree on that at least, right? So again, and I said that I send my prayers to the family, to his son for a fast recovery. I don't wish death on anyone. I don't wish anyone to get hurt, because if I do that, regardless how evil I think the person is, I'm gonna get that back. It's gonna come back to me. And so for the most part, because people say, oh, you say you try to be a good guy, you this, that, and the third. Yeah, I am. Walk a day with me and you'll see that the majority of my day, I'm helping people. And it was in helping people that I got into that incident with that video that he has posted on his page and twisted it to make my business look bad. I didn't have my daycare at the time. It was not opened. It was not a mother of a child at my daycare. He knew that. He knew it. But yet and still, he went and posted that lie. And then I had the parents ask me about it. In fact, one of my business associates just sent me the video and said, what is this? I said, that's now 3 years old. And he knows that we were the victims. We were attacked by 3 people with a weapon. And so why was I saying get the guns? Because when I have me and my wife and 2 kids against 3 thugs, because that's what they were. One of them, who was obviously high, she was heroin addict. This is the reason why I was in a situation, because I was getting rid of her boyfriend who was working for me because he was buying heroin. And so they come to my office, they break my window with this long stick. I'm trying to protect my kids as 2 women that probably weighed more than me each attacked me. What would you do? I don't care what any of you say. There's not one person here in this city that would have done anything different than I did. And the only one that sustained injuries was me. The only property that was damaged was mine. I lost money. And then I got this guy utilizing that to attack me and my family. And the video clip he shows there is of my wife in terror because people have a weapon. And she's scared. But he doesn't have any respect for that. He doesn't have respect, at least for my wife. You got a problem with her husband, deal with her husband. Come see him. Talk about him. But don't attack her. Don't say disgusting things about her. Don't put her safety in jeopardy or my children. Right? So I don't want to hear the nonsense from people coming on my page to try and defend this guy. You have no clue what he has done. And it's not just to me. And I'm not looking to play victim. I'm looking to make things clear. I'm not the only one. And what about the victim that he sexually assaulted? Do you guys care about her? You know, the guys that and gals that support him. Do you care about the young girl that he forced himself on? She ran from his karate school crying. She was on the stand crying because of what happened to her. Do you have a daughter, little sister? What if she was violated in that way by any man? When would be a good time to forgive him? Do you know that the victim still lives in Yonkers? So I'm sure she sees this man all the time. Sure, she may be older, but I'm gonna assume or take a guess that she has not forgotten about that. Her family hasn't. They hate that man. Some of them work for the city. That's how I know. Has anyone considered her? Screw the victims? Forget about the young girl that was molested? Is that what we're to do? Is that a good example for elected officials to set when they sit next to him because they've paid him to do so? And then he goes on more rants and lies about people to hurt people in a community that are actually trying to do good things. You think he's ever covered the good things I've done out of my own pocket? Because they don't give me grant money. They don't pay me $1. Nobody. Stop that. Please. Please. Compare our arrest records. Compare what we've actually done in life. Then come back and talk to me. But first, you have to get to know me before you can say anything about me. And I don't mean to watch my podcast. Come walk with me for one day. You can come tomorrow. I challenge you. I challenge you. So again, I don't wish anything bad on that man or his family. I'm a believer in karma. Again, I will always believe in that. And when you put out bad juju, as they say, it comes back to those you love. That's a fact, Jack. Believe that. Believe that. So watch what you do. Treat people with kindness. Don't be disrespectful. But if people are disrespectful to you, then by all means, do as you please. I'm no one to say not to be disrespectful back. I'm no one to say take the high road. I will admit to that all day and night. That's just who I am. I try not to go there, but I'm a human, and the things that he has talked about has been very personal. It's not like he's talked about my looks, right? Or superficial things. It's not like he's just talked a bunch of nonsense on there that doesn't have an impact on my business. I mean, parents are calling me about it. I've had to explain this to people. And I didn't do anything. And so he should have to explain what he actually did to people, to the community, for violating one of the community's children. And I'm always going to hold him accountable for that. And I can forgive, but I can't forget. And as a person that actually works with children, just doesn't sit well with me, homie. Because if you ever did that to someone I knew, you know, you would want them to put you in jail. But then you know what they do to pedophiles in jail. So be careful. He only got probation when he was facing 7 to 14 years. Why? Because we have a corrupt system with corrupt judges, lawyers who know each other, who go way back. And so they hooked him up. Same way they did to a man named James Sertival, who preyed on a young kid on the internet, 14-year-old, and sodomized him, a grown-ass man. And it was that case that led to other men, prominent men, being arrested for preying on young boys via AOL chat rooms. That one particular 14-year-old boy that he molested had been molested by 9 of these men. And the guy that recently redistricted Yonkers, well, he was quoted as basically saying it was the victim's fault. He was promiscuous. He wanted it. Okay. So as a grown man, you should make the decision to say, no, I'm sorry, you need some help. Where are your parents? You just went along with it because he wanted it. Isn't that right, Dr. Beveridge? So, no, I don't wish anything bad on that man. I don't wish anything bad on anybody. I believe in karma, and karma will come back to you. So be careful what you do. That's all I'm saying. And you made my point to the person who commented because you said his sons are good people or good men. Well, I'm sure they are. But that doesn't mean that their father's karma isn't going to affect them. And that's the problem. And that's my point. Be careful what you do in life. We all make mistakes. But when you intentionally try and hurt people, and especially for money, then you get what you get. But I pray that his family his son has a speedy recovery, because I don't wish anything bad on him, because I don't want that bad juju. I let the Lord deal with it. I pray that he protects me from all those who seek to do harm, and I let that be that. And I will do what I do on my podcast, but I'm not going to wish anything bad. And I'm only going to target the individuals that have targeted me and my family. I'm not going to go after everybody. But if you're going to try to hold me accountable with lies, then I'm going to hold you accountable with truths. And remember, karma is real. So, folks, there's another blogger out there. I agree. He needs to learn some respect. It's lacking big time. The police say it all the time. Brian is a bum, and he has his followers brainwashed big time. You know, someone told me that is following the Yonkers Newswire is there for the gossip, for the bochinche. You know, the guy's constantly posting things about me and my wife. I mean, look, the reality is, right? And let me talk about this. The reality is that you know, they're getting inside information. So the son of Zahid Jarris, the guy that's suing me for $1 million, Frankie Jarris, made a comment that the school they placed my wife in would be closing down anyway, so it didn't matter. How did he know that? Well, that is true. It's not closing down because of any negative reason, but they're going to be relocating. But how did he know that? And so he's being fed inside information to attack my family. You see this? This is through the Yonkers Newswire and the Yonkers Voice, and they pay him to do this. This is what he does. He lies to you folks also in telling you things about our government that is not true, and telling you things about our elected officials that is not true, causing you to have a false understanding of things, leading you to make decisions with that misinformation. And he does that because he's paid, and that's not okay. And then they're feeding them information. So it's one man against an entire system that has cops, judges, the inside information, these paid news guys attacking my wife and family, and even control over her job. So who's the bully? I mean, think about it, right? But the great thing is that she loves the new place she's at. My wife was moved to another location. There was some issues there. I spoke about it. You want to check about in a previous podcast. She loves it there. She loves the new setting. You know, everything happens for a reason. I believe in God. And when you try and do the right things in life, you're never going to always get it right. You're going to make mistakes. I'm not perfect, and I'll admit my faults. You know, I don't really much hide anything. I mean, from where I was born in a jail, and I told you about that. I told you how I grew up. I don't, hide things, I mean, obviously there's certain things that we all want to keep to ourselves, right? They're personal, but for the most part, I'm truthful. My wife and I have been together for a really long time. In fact, today is our anniversary. We've been married, 14 years now, but we've been together 25 years, 26 years. We met when we were 16 years old. I love that woman, and she's done a lot for me. So that is why I'm very protective of her. Very protective of her. She does a great job. and I go nuts. And they knew that, and they were triggering me. That was my button. They knew to push my dad button right there, right? And I knew they were pushing that button, and I knew it, but I didn't care because that's my wife. And I love her, right? But I have to kind of be chill. But I want people to understand the truth, right? Because if you think something negatively or something that's not about basement politics, then that's going to keep you from being informed. I'm here to inform and bring transparency, right? And just put out what's going on, because this also helps protect other people. There are a lot of people that have had issues that are scared to speak and that need this protection, right? When we put it out into the open, they think twice, and that protects other people. So I'm protecting a lot of people. If I could only tell you and show you the thank you messages that I get from people. So it outweighs the negative stuff. And the negative stuff is from the same few individuals. But people that have jobs here that have thanked me for what I've done, for speaking out, right? I've helped them. I've helped protect them. So I'm going to continue doing this, right? And I'm only out here to try to do the right thing. Again, I may not get it always right. I may get it wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm always open to other people's, opinions, ideas, view of things. I'm not against it, but that's what I'm about, right? And my wife, she's in a new place. She loves it. She loves the people that she's working with. It's a great, environment for her. Her office is probably the biggest she's had ever since she's been working in any school district. And so she was very excited today. It was great to see her happy and smiling. And she's looking forward to doing an amazing job. And anyone that's has a child in her school building, you're going to be very fortunate. You're going to be very fortunate. If you're an involved parent and you're there and you need extra help for your kids, or you need someone to talk to or whatever, and she's there, utilize her. Take advantage. She's not going to turn you away. She's going to overdo it, in fact. Sometimes, she does too much. Sometimes, I know she wants to help so much. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, I'm just a little more like, right? But that's how she is. So let her rock, right? Let her be who she is. And so, again, if you do have a child, student that is in a school that she's working at, make sure you utilize her, right? She wants you to, ask questions, ask for help, ask for support, whatever it is your child needs. She will work hard to get it done because she wants to come home and tell me how she did this for these parents and for this student, right? She loves that stuff, right? And I got to hear it. I helped these parents get these services, or this child needed this, and so I took it. It's just great. So, I'm happy for that. When you do, try to do the right thing, God rewards you. That's what I believe, always. And so I try to set out to do the right thing, even more so nowadays than, even before. And so that's, what I'm about. And so, please forgive me if I've offended anyone. If I have, you can always talk to me again. If you see me out there, say hello. I'm approachable. Get to know me, because I'm going to be out here in the community. I'm going to be doing a lot of things. And if you got kids, if you got young kids, I'm going to be doing a lot of great things, God willing, here in the community. And I want your children to be involved, especially the teenagers. I want them to be involved. We're going to be offering a lot of different things. We really want to see your children succeed. Like, it's truly my mission. Like, if your child isn't succeeding, I'm not doing my job, right? That's just how I see it. So check us out. I'm going to be posting up things. I just want to move forward in a positive direction. Yes, there's some things that, are negative, and I speak about it, and I have to. I'm still dealing with a lawsuit. I'm being sued by a political operative for my podcast. Could you believe that? He wants $1 million from me. That's true story. $1 million, right? Yeah, it is what it is. But God willing, we will prevail. And look, even the things that are happening now, I mean, like this, I believe in signs. The signs are there, and, I spotted my name, and I don't want to say too much because I just, they know things, and they might try to sabotage me, but my last name was there with a cross going through the Q. I said, this is where we're supposed to be, right? That's a sign to me. And it's spelled exactly like mine, because some people spell it VASQUEZ. It's actually more likely it's spelled that way than two Z's. Everyone always gets it wrong that way. So that's a sign. God is telling us we're doing the right thing. We're in the right direction. So please, I want the community to be a part of what I'm doing. What I'm doing is for the community. And I know there's other organizations, other programs out there, and I'm not going to knock anybody and nothing like that. I'm just saying we're in our zone here. We're trying to do what we want to do. Check us out as well. We're going to be putting up more stuff, God willing, as soon as the fall begins. And we just want the community to get to know us. We want to get to know the community, and we want to get to know all the youth out there, and try to provide as much opportunities and advice and guidance as we can. So that's all we're trying to do, right? I was fortunate to go from the West Side, being born in jail, to having a lot of experience in life, being able to start businesses and stuff, nonprofit and all that, a podcast. Who would have thought, who would have thunk it? I could even run for county legislator if I wanted to, and I would have won. Shanae, I would have had your seat, Shanae. I'm just saying. Let's just keep it a buck, Shanae. I could have had this seat, Shanae, but I ain't want it because I'm not here for the politics. I'm here to inform the people. I'm here for the community, right? Like my guy, Eli. You guys know Eli? What do you think about this? Eli, the people's guy. He's an auditor. He was out there filming and he saw these guys doing work and he approached them. It ended with one of the guys snatching his phones, police being called, and an article written on the Yonkers Ledger. What do you think? The guy's not a public official, though. That's the thing. He's not a public official. I like Eli. He's a funny guy. He's got a lot of followers on YouTube. He's a YouTuber. I think he's from Yonkers. And this is what happened.
Don't give me orders, you don't tell me what to do. No, I don't need to obey. No, I don't need to obey. La pequeña, mírame esa. You ready to go in?
He's got a lot of followers, man. Thank you. Funny because I saw this police officer today and he just stood out because he had the ponytail and that long hair.
Let me know when you're there. Not the store.
It's not no.
Glad somebody filmed us, that's all.
No, it's not unusual. We got cameras all over.
No.
Look at the store. Look at the store. They're filming.
First of all, I'm talking about you, not the store.
It's not no difference. I got a camera. They got a camera.
You can film. I'm not saying it's just quite unusual for a person.
And I'm saying it's not.
Okay, fine. Have a good day.
It's a regular thing. It's America.
I said have a good day, right?
Huh?
I said have a good day, right?
You too. They're used to it.
Now, what the guy did wrong is he continued to engage him. He should have just ignored him. And definitely don't touch his property. That was wrong too. But I get it. He was frustrated.
I don't care if you have to be here at 5 in the morning, whatever.
These guys are hot. They're trying to work. They got these cars coming around them. And now they got Eli, the people's guy, with his camera.
Camera right there, man. I'm not talking to you, bro.
I wasn't talking to you either.
I'm talking to my people.
Okay, very good.
You work for the city?
I do.
What's your name?
My name is Bill.
What's your position?
I'm a senior project manager in engineering.
If I want to make a complaint.
Oh, so he does work for the city. I thought it was a private company. Maybe he's there overseeing what they're doing. A senior planning manager.
Where do I go and do it?
You go right to City Hall.
City Hall?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You have a good day.
Again?
I said have a good day.
Again?
Yeah, why not?
Look at his eyes.
Where do I call to complain about you?
I'm a citizen. I don't work for the people. I work for myself.
Right. So
I'm not a public servant.
About you.
I'm not a public servant.
I can complain about
to
you.
Who?
To you and to whoever I want.
Go ahead. Who got a wise mouth?
You.
I don't work for the city.
You.
I don't work for the city.
You.
Keep your distance. How about that?
I'm not. I'm right here.
6 feet.
I'm right here.
6 feet.
I'm right here. I ain't moving for you. You don't tell me to move.
You're disrespectful.
I'm not moving you.
You're disrespectful.
You're disrespectful too.
I don't work for the city.
All right. We're done talking. How about that?
You said that 3 times already.
No, I
and
have
you're
not.
like
I
2 feet away from me.
I was here first.
Say word.
You're feeling some type of way.
He is funny though. I will give him that. He does funny things.
I was here first.
Say word. Say word. Move back, bro. Move back.
I'm staying right here, sir.
Move back.
I'm not moving back.
You never been smacked in your life?
Yeah. You smack me, I'm gonna put you down so fast you won't even know what hit you.
Hell no, in your life, man.
Okay,
Look at you, bro.
Okay, bro.
Look at you. So keep your distance.
Okay, baby. Okay.
Keep your distance, bro.
Keep pushing the button.
What button, bro?
See, that's true. The button. We all
What
have
a public
a button.
servant. You serve the public, and that's how you treat the public?
I treat the public perfectly.
It doesn't look like.
When they're polite to me.
It doesn't look like.
I said, please, sir, let's just stop talking. You're the one who continue to talking now.
I can.
You can.
It's
but
America.
I don't want you to talk to me, though.
So what? So move it.
Oh, get out. Now you're being ridiculous.
Say word.
Yo, this guy's bothering me. Could you ask me to move along, please?
Good morning. He said I'm bothering you. He needs your help. Come help him.
Yeah, he's starting to mouth off to me a little bit.
He don't like my mom. Him 30 times. I'm you again, nigga. Stop playing with me, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You cross the line now.
Exactly. So what you gonna do? What your boy gonna do for you? Stop playing with me. Go keep working. Go keep working. Bro. Go keep working. Stop playing with me, man.
See, the officer should have took a bit more control here. I don't want to say anything negative about him, but he should have did a little more than just
disrespectful ass. You already know his name, my peeps.
At this point, anyway.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna go make a complaint against him.
Go right ahead.
Police didn't do shit for you. What happened? Huh? I thought you was gonna pull me down, but then you asked for help. What happened, big man? You asking another man for help? I thought you got everything under control.
I'll be happy to meet you anywhere you want to meet.
And that's when the phone gets snatched. Total darkness. I agree, Steph. I just watched the video. Honestly, this Eli guy should have kept it moving. He recorded his piece. These guys didn't look like they were doing anything shady. The worker asked if he can help him. That's when he should have had better communication skills instead of sounding like a tough guy. This entire thing could have been handled with just Eli asking the cop what was going on. This isn't journalism. It's looking for trouble. I agree. You know, I mean, I don't think the guy did anything wrong. He was just, you know, upset, you know, that this guy was there kind of, you know, it does. It bothers, you know, listen, I don't record people. I try not to record just everybody. I even go over people's heads and stuff like that, you know, if I can. I don't, you know, record victims. And if I'm recording someone, you know, accidentally, or someone that's just not doing nothing, I'm just showing some things that they're, you know, like if they're working and they come up to me and say, hey, can you not record me, please, or whatever, rather not. I say, okay, I would respect that. I only record if I'm trying to, you know, show something. We have to. But in this situation, first of all, I would have never stopped to record this situation. I would have just kept it moving. But he you know, he kind of instigated this, right? And this is what he does, right? This is his thing. That's how he gets the viewers. That's how, because the guy has over 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. This video alone got over 11,000 views in 15 hours. So he gets views that way, right? You know, you got to create a situation, right? You got to create the story. You got to create the video. And I think that's what he did there. So, you know, you again, like I always say, you could only focus on what you could control, right? And the gentleman there with the white hat, could only control his response, and he didn't do a good job doing so. I get it. I'm not saying he, you know, and I know, because I lost my cool too. Trust me, I know that very well. So I'm not even blaming him or being mad at him. I'm just saying what happened. I've done it. We lose our cool. We should have disengaged, but we didn't because we were so angry. You know, we were mad, and you know, then he says, you know, cursing at him. You know, that's disrespectful. That's what I mean. Like, I don't do that. I don't go and just curse at you, right, or disrespect you unless you have disrespected me or I feel you have in some way. But even with Taja did, I didn't curse at her. I was, you know, being nice, maybe more funny, but not disrespectful, not too close. Also, you know, I don't get in people's face. Like, you know, I don't do that. That's too close. Then you're saying the F word, and you know, then you're saying the N word and all that stuff, you know. And so you created a situation there, and then you also put in the police officer in this situation, right? When he needs to just do his job, you know, manage traffic. These guys are still working there. Now he's got to be focused on you know, and this guy here, while he needs to make sure that these guys don't get hit by a car in the middle of the street, Eli. You know, so you got to, you know, understand that, you know, you are also creating a situation that does not need to be created, right? And so I agree with this guy for getting upset with you. I agree, you know, for how he felt. He shouldn't have grabbed your phone, but listen, we've all done that. Honestly, there was a few times I thought about smacking Ruros's phone out of his hand. I swear. It's just I didn't want to pay for it. That's why I didn't do it. I'm not gonna pick up this guy money, right? So I didn't. But I had to, it was like there, you know, like the feeling went to my fingertip and then it stopped, you know. So you have to have that type of control, Eli. You know, or I should say, to people who are agitated by someone like Eli, you know, where you see them with their phone and you just want to, you know, you have to. So you know, I feel bad for the guy because he was put in a situation that he didn't have to be for no reason. He's just trying to do his job, just trying to go home at the end of the day. And here comes Eli, the people's guy, and he gets more views than 11,000 views. Good job, Eli. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Although I've had videos I've got even more than that, but in 15 hours, that's pretty good. You know, I guess people like to see things like that. He had a lot of people supporting him in the comments, however. But I will agree. I think he kind of instigated that situation. I think he then kind of got belligerent with the guy, you know, causing the guy to get angry and then create a situation. Now you're also pulling police resources because then the cops were called. He wanted the guy to be arrested for stealing his phone, right? So, you know, he had the police come there. So now you got, you know, officers being pulled from, you know, the streets in order to deal with nonsense, right? And then someone's getting shot. It's like when they called the police on me at the building department, right? The guy, because I didn't leave, because I didn't want to wait outside. He wanted me to wait outside like I was some wet dog because it was just me. I said, no, I'll wait I was willing to wait for my escort, but I'm not going to stand outside. It was hot too. Can I sit right here? And I was being perfectly quiet, but because he didn't want me sitting there quietly, he called the police, right? So the police come flying because I don't know what code he gave him. And that was literally like 20 minutes before Brian Moran was shot on Elm Street in the bodega. So you see, they were over here wasting time. You know, there's things really happening, right? So that's a waste of police resources when they have to come deal with this stuff. So that's all I'm saying, because then it gives us a bad name, right? I don't want to have this reputation because of Eli, the people.
Listen. Do not put your hands on me never in your fucking life. You hear me?
Eli,
Yo,
I'm just trying to direct traffic.
But you saw what he did, right?
I didn't see. I'm directing
He
traffic.
stole my phone. You gave it back to me.
Oh, so the police officers know his name. I think the police actually know this guy. He
stole my phone. Now you gonna do
him
something about it?
Many times.
You gave it to me, right? Who gave me the phone?
Eli, give me a moment, all right?
Take your time. I'm gonna be waiting for you.
Okay.
Who's your supervisor? Who's your supervisor?
I am.
Who's your supervisor? Who's above you?
I am.
Who's above you?
I am.
Nobody's above you?
No.
Nobody's above you?
No.
That's not me, by the way,
Nobody's
folks.
above
You're just joining me.
Nobody's above you?
No.
So what makes you think you can touch my property, bro? You know how lucky you are to smack the shit out of you, bro?
Be glad you didn't.
Huh?
Be glad you didn't.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. Be glad you didn't, Eli. He's right.
Listen. Shut the f up, man. I'm making a complaint against you.
I don't care.
All right, that's it.
That doesn't bother me in the least. Okay?
No, man, I'm making a complaint against you.
I don't care.
All right, that's it.
That doesn't bother me in the least. Okay? Just stand on the sidewalk. That's all I'm asking. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Sir, call your supervisor. I need your supervisor. Call your sergeant, supervisor, somebody.
Just wait on the sidewalk.
I will. Are you gonna call? Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yo,
You
he's
don't just get
definitely one
away
of the
from
nicest
stealing
cops
people's
I've ever
shit.
seen.
And
That
the
dude
police
right
give
there.
it back
He's
to me, and
very,
it's like you didn't do shit.
you know,
A fucking thief, nigga.
soft with it.
That's crazy, my P. How he just took my phone away from my hand, like he could do it.
I know some police officers that would have got up in his face, like, yo.
Good thing you already got his name.
So I guess the gentleman there with the white hat does work for the city. I guess this is a company that was contracted by the city. And that's why it was shared or an article was written about it on the Yonkers Ledger. Eli, the people's guy who's filming here, is also currently going through a trial. I'm not sure for what, but he will be in court in November if you're interested. And so he has to pack him up and all that. You know, now we
should do. What do you think I should do? Because look, my screen was a little bit messed up. We finished messing my shit up. Now,
I called in. A car's coming in now, and the supervisor's coming.
Okay, thank you.
Just give me a moment.
Yeah, but you was a witness to this.
And I didn't see. I'm directing
You
traffic.
gave me the phone. You took the phone from him and gave it to me.
I don't know who. He came up to me with a phone.
With my phone that he stole.
All right.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? So how you took my phone from his hand and gave it to me and you didn't see
the
that?
phone at the time. He came up to me with a phone.
Okay.
I saw you behind him.
Okay, he
so I
stole
handed
it
the
and
phone
he
to
stole
you.
it. Exactly. He stole it and thank you
I'm
for
trying
taking
to-
it back.
I'm trying to do three things at once.
Keep doing your thing.
Yo, poor cop. Poor guy. He's all in his face yelling. The guy's trying to figure this out. He's in his camera. This is already 11,000 views. So, I mean, me showing is not making a difference. I feel bad for the cop. I do, man. He just wants to fucking go home, man. You see, Eli, this is why you got white cops, and I'm not trying to look at us like they want to fuck us up, man. Come on, Eli. We don't need that shit, man. You know what I mean? This gives us a bad, give us bad energy. I get it. This is why I can understand sometimes, why from his side, from a white person's point of view, I get it. When you see, dealing, this is what someone told me, actually, a Hispanic cop. They said what it is, Freddie, is day in and day out, you deal with the same individuals over nonsense. You going into people's apartments, or at homes or whatever, and they're arguing over, the last piece of pork chop. You know what I mean? And then one then stabbed the sister or whatever, and then it's the same thing over and over. And this is a Hispanic woman again, and she said, and it's always the Latinos and blacks. Well, not always, but primarily or a majority of it. And I guess that's also depending on where you work. But it seems like a lot of the problems happen, in our community, folks, in Black and Hispanic communities. And I get it. There's a lot of reasons. I understand. I'm not here to judge and point fingers. I'm here to try and help make a difference. But we have to acknowledge what the problems are that we need to change. And one of them is ignorance. For far too long, folks in the hood, we've been too ignorant. We're ignorant. We're ignorant. We respond in ignorant ways. I've done it. Because I'm from the hood. But we have to do better, right? We can't verbally assault people like this. We can't be this aggressive. We have to learn to communicate in a better way. We have to articulate our words. And yes, there are going to be times when words is not going to do anything, and it's a whole nother level. I get that. And I've been there, and I lost my cool, right? But we have to work as a whole to change this, right? We have to do better, folks. We have to do better. We can't be ignorant. We can't allow someone to get us, out of a character over words, right? Like I know guys that will literally go fight somebody, may even shoot somebody if they tell them to suck their what. This is like a street thing, right? If you say suck my D to somebody, that's kind of like the most disrespectful thing you could say to a guy in the streets, which I don't understand that. For one, I don't get it. For one, I don't understand why another man would say that to another man, even if you're mess. You really want him to do that? I don't get that, right? So why would you invite another man to your private part, right? And why do you let something like that bother you so much that you want to go and hurt this man, even kill him, and now you're in jail over he told you to suck his what? I even had a staff member, African-American guy, staff member, a student said that to him, and he grabbed this student up and said, go ahead. You want me to suck you? Pull your pants down. Go ahead. Pull your pants down. And he's shaking this guy. And I'm just in shock. And the kid in shock also. He didn't want to he said, don't you ever tell me to suck you and what? If you want me to, you ever gonna say you better be ready to pull your pants down. I was like, what the hell is this? Some crazy shit that happened in schools, folks. Let me tell you. 10 years in schools, right? And so we have to just do better, man. We have to teach our people better. We have to approach a situation better. Eli, if you thought something was going on, articulate what you thought was wrong. Ask for questions, engage in productive communication, a productive conversation, be informed. And if you truly feel something is going on that's wrong, then take down names, badge numbers, IDs, I don't know what, and make a formal complaint. You can share your video, but don't be so aggressive to people, because then it's not just going to make Hispanics, people with your type of accent, or other minorities, or even podcasters or YouTube influencers be labeled a certain way or painted with the same, broad stroke. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be better. All right. We have to do things better. And Eli, and you get a lot of views, so I can't really tell you how to do your show. I mean, if it works for you, works for you. But I'm just letting you know that the negative, blowback that it causes, right? People may respect you, but you got a bunch of ignorant people out there that love that shit, and they're going to like it. It's just like when I talk about the bochincha, those get a lot of views, right? But when I tell you about the planning board meeting and the zoning board meeting and how that's impacting you and why you can't find an affordable place to live anymore in Yonkers, those don't do as many views, So just letting you know, folks. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Thank you for the happy anniversary wishes. I appreciate you, folks. I've been with my beautiful wife for 25 years, something like that. Married 14 years. And we're hoping to celebrate our 20th anniversary. We want to go back to where we got married. It's El Conquistador in Puerto Rico. If you're ever looking for a nice resort to vacation at, go check it out. It's amazing. Try to get one of the rooms down by the marina. You know, you get to take a vernacular is what it's called. It's like that thing in Pittsburgh. Takes you up and down the mountain because it's built on the side of a mountain. Then they have a dope marina where yachts will pull up. And if you get the rooms there, you see the yachts right there. You get the beautiful La Marina grill that serves a great flank steak with arroz con bichuela. That was the best. I still remember that meal so many years later. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. I appreciate you. Share the show. Let me know if you have anything you'd like me to talk about or look into. I have got some information for some people. I also got someone who has reached out to me who would like to share their story about some things that they're going through up in Rockland County. Right? They watch the show. They're going through some things. They want to expose some of the, family court, I believe, issues that are going on there with judges, which is a very big topic. And in fact, James O'Keefe from, Project Veritas, well, formerly, he's not with them anymore, actually recently shared a video that was, recorded in a room full of judges and lawyers that all work in the family court system and deal with child custodies and all that stuff, right? They were making fun of all the clients, basically saying, we promise we're going to help you, but we just take your money and we're swindlers. This is what they're saying. Like, it's very disturbing to know that this is how they think. They said it was just, a parody, but that's obviously how they think. And so can you trust your family court lawyer, law guardian, judge, or case manager? Right? That's a huge, problem here. And, I feel bad for the woman that was arrested from, I believe, Briarcliff Manor. She was on my show. Her husband did a number on her. He was connected and he was wealthy. The woman was worth over $4 million. All gone. And she has not seen her kids. She's been locked up and deemed mentally unstable, all because she told her kids she loved them, which broke or was a violation of an order that they had where she could not communicate with her children. And then they locked her up for that. And she's been going through hell ever since. If you take my kids away, I'm going more than crazy. I'm going a lot more than crazy, right? And maybe that's why I may have seemed that way when they have gone after my family, because that is a button that will launch a nuclear bomb. So I hope to speak to this individual, maybe have him on the podcast. If you're also going through similar situation and would like to share your story, please reach out to me at politicwithfred@gmail.com. And anyone who may have an amazing story or something that they would like to expose or talk about or share your story. Share the amazing things that you're doing. Reach out to me at politicwithfred@gmail.com. I'd like to talk about it. I'm sure people will be interested in what you have to say. It's a lot of interesting people out here. That's what's great about the internet, right? We get to see more interesting people than just a few shallow celebrities they put in front of us. The fact they're going on strike because now what they want to do is scan and then use that scan to create an AI version of them or alternate reality version of them and use that in the movies instead of having them actually film the scenes. So that means they would then pay them less. You see, AI is taking over everything, even Hollywood. So they're protesting because of that. They're going on strike because of that. Imagine they just scan the actor and then they use that scan in the movie. They don't need them for the scenes anymore. They'll really be all doing their own stunts, right? Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a beautiful night.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I was raised in housing.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.